What is going on, everybody? Lindy Endzone is here back with another video for you guys. So, as we've seen at the start of the sixth round, the Eagles have continued to add to the depth of the trenches by um, taking Marlon Tuipulotu with the 189th pick in the NFL draft. Um, this guy to me is just another I feel he's just going to be another rotational guy on the defensive line when you consider the fact of Howie Roseman earlier. I think this was yesterday talking about how this was a element that helped the team win the Super Bowl was having that good rotational depth on the defensive line. Um, for what it's worth, Marlon is a pretty good selection here. He is known to be good in the run game and really closing off the gaps and not allowing the offensive line to bully him. He's kind of a um, when he meets tackles and guards and um, he's pretty much a brick wall. Nobody can really nobody can really move him. Um, it is also noted that he was a coming into UFC. He was a redshirt freshman um, from at the start of 2018. 2017 in his enrollment. Um, he missed most of the season due to a back injury, so that's something else that we might want to consider here. Is we're bringing in another player who has who has an injury history and back issues for a defensive lineman aren't necessarily ideal, but I don't feel that this is going to be much of an effect since this happened years back. Um, He'll be in a better training program, as we know, from collegiate to NFL level, and he'll just carry on from there. Um, so with that said, he appeared in all 12 games in 2018, starting the last 10, um, except for Stanford and UNLV. He recorded 33 tackles with 5.5 for loss, 17 yards, and 4.5 sacks. He was held out of the spring practice in 2018 due to that back injury the previous year. Um, and he just from what I can gather, he basically carried a consistent career for the Trojans through 2019 and 2020. 2020 was his standout year, where he started all 6 games at nose tackle before the season for USC was cut short in the Pac-12. He recorded 23 tackles with 3.5 for a loss, totaling 22 yards. That also includes 2 sacks for a total of 19, and including a forced fumble. He was named to the All Pac-12 First Team of 2020, the AP All Pac-12 First Team, Phil Steele All Pac-12 First Team, Pro Football Focus All Pac-12 Third Team, and he was invited to the Senior Bowl in 2021. So for his career, he has accumulated 104 tackles, 15 for loss with 8.5 sacks, 3 pass deflections, and 2 forced fumbles. He appeared in a total of 33 games, starting 29. Uh, so I mean, for experience, based on the conference of the Pac-12 here, I mean, like I said, for what it's worth, with him being the first sixth round pick for the Eagles of the draft, I think there's some pretty good value here. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you have to consider that the defensive line for quite a bit now has lacked youth and depth that can really make an impact on the field, especially when your top end guy like Fletcher Cox has been in and out of the on and off of the field or in and out of the lineup with ticky-tack injuries. And, we thought at one point that he was going to have a bicep issue, or there was a couple of games where he went down last year in 2020 and just really fought it out. So in another sense, you can argue if we had the proper rotational depth of the defensive line, something like that probably wouldn't have happened. So with that said, we're going to head over to the post-draft presser for Marlon here, and we're going to see what he has to say in being a Philadelphia Eagle and what he hopes to bring to the table.
And welcome to Philadelphia.
Thank you guys for having me.
We'll get started here with Chris Franklin and then John McMullen.
Okay.
Hey, Marlon, welcome to Philly. Your cousin Talanoa was drafted today, and now you were selected by the Eagles. What does it feel like? What's it feel like for your family, and have you talked to him since you were drafted?
Yeah. Once I seen Talanoa get drafted, I texted him right away and gave my congrats to him and his family, because he's up in Oregon. I'm out here in LA, but excited for him and his opportunity, and then I'm excited to be Eagle.
I had John and then had Kratz.
Hey, Marlon. Congratulations. Welcome to Philadelphia. Curious how much contact you had with the Eagles in the pre-draft process and how much interest they showed in.
Yeah, I talked to them a few times. Met them at the Senior Bowl. Spoke with them there, and talked to them on the phone with the D-line coach, and then spoke with their scouts too. So I was in contact with them a lot. Sorry about that.
Go ahead, Ed, and then Rob Motti.
Hey, Marlon, congratulations. How much do you know about the Eagles, their roster, and the guys up front? And how excited are you to kind of get your career started here?
Yeah, it's funny. My oldest brother, he's a big Eagles fan. So every Sunday when he's watching the NFL, like, he's always talking about his Eagles, and just understanding them as a D line. They have a pretty experienced and very talented D line with Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham and Javon Hargrave. So I'm just excited to go up there and learn from those guys, pretty much.
So I mean, you can see it there. Obviously, this is another player that we have drafted that they made sure to do their homework for the team that's been in contact with them more than once, and I mean, it's just pretty good to know from that standpoint, and the fact that this is another player who has at least a family member or two that's a big Eagles fan. That type of connection is going to be like an underrated drive for some of these kids to want to make this roster, and to tell their family one day that I played for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm sure it means quite a lot for them.
Hey, Marlon, what were your expectations coming into the draft? Where did you see yourself going? And what do you consider to be your biggest strengths? What can Philly expect out of you?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to hold high expectations for yourself, but whatever happens. You can control what you can't control. So excited to be an Eagle, and I feel like I could bring depth to the Eagles' defensive line, and then I'm a solid run defender. I got strong hands. I'm violent, and excited just to learn from those other guys too. So just to get my game better, pretty much.
We'll go to Zach and then Bo.
Hey, Marlon, you've been starting now for a few years, but you really seem to come on this past year. What was the reason for that? Just continuing to stay dedicated during quarantine. I know this was a crazy year, this past year, 2020. So just trying to stay consistent with my training and things like that. Just so once the season did happen, I was ready. So that's where I felt like I took that next step, and then just continuing to get better with my with USC and then my coaches as well. And what made you want to leave early? I don't know. I just felt like it was a decision that that I had with myself, spoke with the coaches, and then primarily spoke with my family, and we believe that was the best thing to do.
We'll go to Bo and then.
Yeah, and you know, and I mean, for me to add on to that, I mean, it's something pretty good to attest to, and you know, for the small sample size that he left in 2020 to you know, to be able to record what he did in only a 6-game span for a 6th-round pick, it's you know, there's some impressive statistics in there, and you heard it from the horse's mouth there, and that, you know, he feels that he's good in run defense, and there was times where the Eagles were lacking that last year, especially for how run defense correlates to a pass rush. You know, you want to get to the running back behind the line before he makes his cut or finds a gap between the tackles or the guard spot. So yeah, I mean, we can't, and at the same time, we necessarily can't put the you know, the same amount of expectations on guys in the later rounds as we would with, you know, players like Devontae Smith and Landon Dickerson and you know, Milton Williams, for what it's worth. And you know, you just hope that guys like this, especially for Howie Roseman's philosophy on wanting to continue to build onto the trenches, that you know, these guys stand out in camp and can contribute to when the regular season starts week 1 for the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's going to do it for this video. This has been the reaction and you know, information, a little bit of information on our first 6th-round pick, Marlon Tuipulotu. So that's going to do it for this one. You know, be sure to, you know, let me know what you think down in the comments. You know, if you like the content, let me know. Hit that subscribe button. I'm very appreciative for any kind of you know, support to the channel. You can also drop a like, and it will help with the YouTube algorithm of getting this out to more people, so we can grow together in the content creator community, just supporting the football team that we all want to see succeed. So this has been your guy, Lindy Endzone, and as always, take care and fly Eagles fly.